afternoon, and with gratitude to our Lord and Savior, in the name of the merciful and benevolent, Allah, Bismillah, the son of Rakib, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Isa, and Ira. Welcome to the Danny Mizrahi Show. Danny Mizrahi has some questions and answers he'd like to get from the public, so we're all here to help him out. And Coach, good afternoon. How you doing? And please proceed as soon as you can.
Okay, a couple of things. I want everybody to just remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if anybody has any comments or questions, please put them in the comments section below.
Okay, Danny, what is it, Danny Mizrahi?
Yeah, well, you're on the thing. You'll see it. CM gave a comment. The questions that have been coming in before that, let's finish up from the other week where you get into your house, you take off all your clothes, and then what happens after that? That's what everybody was waiting for, to know what happens.
Okay, basically, it's my T-shirt and underwear. I go straight into the shower, and clean myself up. I mean, I'm not a healthcare professional, but most people do that, coming in from the, from their jobs or whatever it is, because they fear contamination on their clothes. So that's ostensibly what I do. I just go home, again, open the door, take off my shoes, pants, socks, straight into the shower, and then come out of the shower, put on a pair of shorts, clean clothes. My clothes go straight into the laundry bag. Most people wash their clothes right away, but we don't have a washer dryer in the machine in the apartment. So my wife does laundry about twice a week.
Where does she do it?
Downstairs. The building has laundry downstairs.
But is it that mixed with the other clothes that people may have the virus?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's she uses her own machine, and I guess for now it's safe. I don't know. I'm not Dr. Fauci, or I'm not Dr. Burke, so I don't really necessarily know if that's what's safe or not.
So what type of movies or TV shows you've been watching? I know you recommended in the past you enjoyed The Notebook a lot. That was one of your favorite movies, I remember, a few years ago. What are you watching?
What am I watching now? Okay. Fauda, we're up to about episode 7, which is supposed to be phenomenal. This time they're in Gaza. I'm watching a lot of some reality TV shows. Big fan of 90 Day Fiance. Highly recommended. It's a great show, great reality TV show. I mean, some of it might be staged, but Darcy is just terrific. I mean, if you're watching that show, Darcy is a superstar. And just odds and ends. I watch a lot of old TV shows, Growing Pains, Family Ties, on Nickelodeon or whatever it is they have at Three's Company.
With Mrs. Liniato.
No, she hates those shows. She hates them. Fuzzy TV. She's not a big fan of Fuzzy TV.
All right.
So that's basically it. I mean, I haven't really watched any series. I want to watch the plot to Overthrow America, Charles Lindbergh, of the Philip Roth's novel. It's called The Plot, I think, to Overthrow America. And if Charles Lindbergh would have become president, he was a notorious anti-Semite, and he allied with Hitler. So I mean, it's kind of like one of those shows that the hard left tries to echo at today's age, like when Trump says America first and stuff like that.
This is a fun fact. People don't realize you spell your name G-I-D-Y and not G-I-D-D-Y. Is that correct?
I'm not sure why that is. Giddy is a relatively common name in Israel. It's not like one of like the regular common names, but it's relatively common, and it could be spelled G-I-D-I, G-I-D-Y. I mean, I just picked it up as G-I-D-Y in general, but I don't know. It could be spelled G-I-D-D-Y. I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me, But that's how I kind of spell it. But I now use more Gideon because it's more professional.
Okay, we're going to take some questions that I received from some of our viewers. Okay, this question is from, I don't want to use names, Munster, we'll call him. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
For years and years, Giddy has been seeing some of the most beautiful, fantastic girls. Some begging on his knees to propose to him, and he goes on list the names, models, business executives. Every type of girl. What made the current and only Mrs. Liniato be Mrs. Liniato?
Well, first of all, I mean, we have to be truthful about things. I mean, yeah, I've had previous relationships prior to proposing and marrying my wife, but I mean, I don't know where you got models and I
Some
don't know.
business owners, successful business owners also.
Well, I mean that's different. That doesn't make a difference. It's all about what JJN used to say, chemistry, man. It's about chemistry. It's about how things work out. It's it just a gut feeling. I mean, I'm not no relationship expert or relationship coach, but when you go out with somebody, you date somebody, I mean, you feel them out, you see how the relationship is going, and then ultimately you kind of like decide whether to take it to the next step or not. So, I mean, I guess the chemistry that I had with the missus now is just, that was what we had, and it worked out well.
Can I say something serious to you?
Yes, sir.
The past 3 years, I've never seen you happier.
Happiness is overrated because most people aren't happy. They just, well, you're happy. What the hell does happy mean? I mean, it's probably the most overrated thing. You go through life, you're doing your things. Everybody, are you happy that you have to go to work and schlep and stuff like that? Are you happy that you're healthy? I mean, are you happy that, of course. There are some aspects that make you happy, some aspects that make you sad in life. And, happiness is just, I guess, I'm not a philosopher, but, I just think it's an overrated.
Who said that? Come on. Nobody.
I think it's a very overrated concept, because if you ask people generally, one day they're happy, one day they're not. One situation they're happy, one day situation they're not. So I mean, ultimately,
on an average 7 days, what's your ratio?
I don't know, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Different days, different weeks. It's all situational, So that's basically it. It's a frame of mind. It's like, overall, are you happy? Well, I'm happy 50. Could I consider myself happy? It's like, am I a true Torah Jew if I keep 500 commandments instead of 613? So, I mean, that's just the concept of it. I mean, like, you're happy parts at a time. You're not happy parts at a time. Sometimes things go your way. Sometimes things don't go your way. And basically, that's just a frame of mind. So, it's just like an overrated concept.
Okay. The next question will come from, we'll call him Truck. Any plans on moving to Brooklyn, or is it in the future?
Israel's definitely not in the future. I don't see it. And Brooklyn, probably not. I mean, not unless, circumstance change. Right now, the plan is to remain in the city. And,
is this a happy day or a sad day?
No, it doesn't count as anything. This is like a medium day. It doesn't count as anything. So right now, the plan is to stay in the city. My wife likes the city. She likes the areas there. She likes where she's at. She likes to be close to a lot of things. I mean, obviously, we're going through a really difficult time, everybody now, with the coronavirus. But I'm just saying, in general, I mean.
Yes, let me remind you to stay safe, please.
Thank you. Stay content, man. So right now, there's no plans on moving back to Brooklyn. No.
And who's a better coach, you or brother Dave?
Better basketball coach?
Yes.
Well, I would say my brother Dave, because I'm not a coach. I mean, like I said, I coached. I was very unsuccessful as a basketball coach. If I remind your viewers,
what do you define success?
Winning. I mean, what else? How else could you measure up coaching?
Winning, and not all the values that you taught those kids?
I didn't teach those kids any values. I coached 1 year of yeshiva basketball JV. It was, I think, 2001, 2002 season at Shaarei Torah High School. We went 0-11. Despite what H. Miz says, 0-15. We played 11 games, period. That's the bottom line. So we went 0-11. I mean, I clearly wasn't the right guy for the job. I couldn't motivate the kids. I mean, the first rule of coaching, coach, as you know, as you're a coach for 25 years, is if you can motivate, you can coach. So that's the first rule. Then the X's and O's come. Then the basketball knowledge comes and everything else like that. But if you can't motivate your players, you don't belong in coaching. You could be like an assistant, maybe. You could be somebody who's, helping diagram plays, or somebody who helps with defense, stuff like that.
Didn't you get your start at Magen David?
I did. I did get my start at Magen David. I was working under Coach Dweck for about 5 weeks, I remember. And pretty much I did nothing.
I think one of his most successful 5 weeks in his history.
I'm not too sure about that, but I was with Coach Truck for 5 weeks. I remember meeting him over the summer, inquiring about coaching job as an assistant. And he brought me into his house.
You broke bread with him.
We definitely broke bread. I drank, I think, diet soda. It was a little flat, if I remember, while Coach was watching Andy Griffith reruns. It was the summer of 2000 maybe, or summer 99. don't remember exactly when it was, but I'm sure like the timeline was either back then. And then he brought me on. He gave me his whole list and stuff, what we're doing and stuff like that. And basically, I used to come to practice and do nothing. And like, what am I doing here? So thankfully, Coach Danny Mizza JV brought me in as his assistant.
Even though I asked you first and you turned me down, but that's
I don't remember that. I don't remember. But if you say so, you have a better memory than I do. And then I worked for you, I think, for 1 or 2 seasons before getting the JV job at Sha'arei Torah. Which I was highly unsuccessful. Again, remember, if you can motivate, you can coach. The X's and O's come afterwards. Everything else comes afterwards. But first thing is motivate.
I thought they were highly motivated when you closed the lights in practice.
Well, you try different concepts and different things there. I mean, the kids were, they were a good bunch of kids, but they just, they came in with the concept that they were street players. And I don't know where they got that stuff from. Like street players. Like, what the hell is a street player? And they're not disciplined, and they need to just play run and gun. And whatever it was. And I mean, we basically tried any concept. I mean, with the closing of the lights incident was, I just wanted them to get a feel of where they are, where they were on the court. Because a lot of times these guys were stepping out, like they had no clue where they are. And that practice turned out to be disastrous because like a lot of kids, like, were jamming their fingers and like the ball was hitting them in the face. And it was just like, it wasn't a fun practice. I mean, for me, it was. And then like, just going through the season with these guys, it was just, I mean, I guess the highlights were like, it was after 9/11. So if you remember, Coach, there was a lot of suspicion and there were a lot of Arabic-speaking kids on that team. So what these guys used to do on the bus was they used to huddle up and like, whisper in Arabic. And then next thing you know, they attack one of the kids and just like beat the crap out of him on the bus. And, it's just like something that had to be banned. And also like, these guys were just like, Sha'arei is an all-boys school. So when these guys used to see girls, from the bus or whatever it was, he used to go mental, like serenading him in Arabic and just going crazy.
So you were the Morris Buttermaker of Sha'arei Torah.
Who's Morris Buttermaker?
The coach of Bad News Bears.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you could kind of say that. I mean, we had some fights. The team had some fights, and it just it was comical. I mean, we were down one game at the Flatbush by like 25, and I had this little point guard coming in, pulling up from 3. And making the 3, and then he's running down with his hand like this. I don't know if you see, like he was Patrick Ewing or something like that. And I don't know. I mean, there was nothing I can do. I just almost beat the crap out of him, but I would not do that.
All right.
It was just a tough season. So like I said, I don't coach. I was happy to fill in for you as an assistant coach at Maccabi for 3 years. 2 silver medals, 1 gold medal. I filled in for Zyke as an assistant coach, 1 silver medal. I mean, that's where I'm good at. I'm probably a good assistant coach. I'm not,
You're a great coach.
No, I would say I'm a good assistant coach.
All right, I'm done for now. Thank you again. Okay. This has been a great experience.